Welcome student. In previous lecture we completed this lesson number 2. Okay. Now you have to complete write exercise given below and send me a photograph it. Okay. Now we will start to the third lesson, that is the effect of British rule. So students, we are under control of Britishers. Okay. So we have major impact of the British rule in India. Okay. So we go through this lesson in which we come to the know the different effect of the British rule in India. The first point is the establishment of the East India Company. We have seen that due to geographical discoveries, the European power reached in the Indian coast. All European, including Portuguese, Dutch, French, and Britishers, entered the race for the capturing the Indian market. When the British came to India for a trade purpose, the Portuguese had already settled here and they gave a bitter resistance. Later, friendly relations developed between them, but to establish the dominations over India, British had to face the opposition from French, Dutch, and local rulers. So, Britishers face faces the competitions with the French and Dutch and Portuguese. Later on, they developed the friendly relations with the Portuguese, and but the resistance from the other, that is the France and Dutch, remains continued. And Britishers also faces the resistance from the local rulers, that is Marathas, Mughal, Tipu of Mysore. So the Britishers faces many wars. Many wars with the local rulers, and after a severe resistance, only Britishers rule come into existence in India. The first and most prominent resistors are Marathas. Mumbai was the main center of Britishers in the western India. When this island, Mumbai Island, was given a gift to the British from the Portuguese. Okay, they were trying to acquire the nearby territories, but the Marathas had a strong hold over it. After the death of the Peshwa Madhav Rao, his uncle Raghunath Rao approached for help from the British due to his greed for Peshwaship. This led to the entrance of the British in Maratha politics. Britishers remains into the opportunity to interference in the local rulers' consequences. So here the most prominent ruler in India was the Maratha Empire, and Britishers are in search of the opportunities to interfere into the Maratha Empire. So they got when the Raghunath Rao approached to help from the Britishers for the Peshwaship. There was competitions into the family to attain the Peshwaships. Due to this, the Raghunath Rao approached Britishers for help, and thus Britishers enters into the politics of the Maratha Empire. During 1774 to 1818, 3 wars were fought between the Maratha and the British. During the first war, the Marathas untidily faced the British and hence the proved superior. And 1782, with the Treaty of Salbai, the first Anglo-Maratha war came to an end. Subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance is the uh, um, introduced by the Lord Wellesley when he come to India. In 1798, this Wellesley arrived in India as a Governor General. His objective was to establish British dominion all over India. For this, he signed a subsidiary alliance with many Indian rulers. According to this alliance, the British rulers were assured of a British military help. Uh, there, there were some terms laid on them. The Indian rulers have to maintain a British army in his court and have to pay a cash or a part of their territory to the company for its maintenance. The ruler would not have any alliance, any other power, declare a war against any power without interventions of the British. The ruler would accept the British resident uh, in his state. Some Indian rulers accepted the system and lost their freedom. So, the purpose behind this subsidiary alliance is to conquer the whole India and spread the British rule all over India. And some rulers of India did not understand this concept behind this subsidiary alliance, and they accepted this subsidiary alliance and lost their freedom because due to under this contract they have to keep one resident in their court, and they did not have any freedom of making a decision of war or making a treaty. Before making any decision, they have to inform this resident, British resident, and after his permission only they can do anything. But in 1802 1800 Bajirao II signed a subsidiary alliance treaty with British. This alliance is well known as a Treaty of Vasai. Uh, because of Maratha a great empire throughout India. When this Peshwa Bajirao II accepted this subsidiary alliance, it severely affect the whole India, and India come indirectly under the control of the Britishers, because Maratha has a great power, a superior establishment into the whole India. And this led to the Second Anglo-Maratha War. After the victory of a British, there was an increased interference of the British into the Maratha state. This became intolerable, and the Bajirao II waged a war against the British. He was defeated in this battle in 1880. He surrendered to the British. In the meantime, the capital of Mughal was under the control of Daulat Rao Shinde. By defeating the troops of Shinde, General Lake captured the Mughal emperor and gained a victory over the Hindustan. So, by defeating Maratha Empire, the British get a whole control over the India, not Mughal. Mughal already defeated and having a control of Maratha, and Maratha captured the Mughals. Britishers gain control over India after the defeating of Maratha, because in Pune they defeated Bajirao second, and in Delhi they defeated Daulat Rao Shinde. Chhatrapati Pratap Singh. Although the Peshwaship came to an end, Chhatrapati Pratap Singh of Satara was still ruling. Britishers signed a treaty with Chhatrapati Pratap Singh and appointed a Grand Duff as an officer to assist him in the state affairs. But later Chhatrapati was dethroned and exiled to Kashi. He died there in 1847. Rango Bapuji Gupte, a loyal officer of Chhatrapati, fought a legal battle and went up to the England, but his effort was unsuccessful. Later, Lord Dalhousie rejected the adoption policy. In 1848, annexed the state of Satara. So, thus Maratha power come to an end. It is due to the false decisions making by the Marathas only. That there is not a superiority of a British ruler while fighting war. Okay, the decision making by the Maratha leaders are led to the end of Maratha Empire into the come to an end in India, and Britishers gain full control all over India. So because they didn't remain any opposite ruler, Chhatrapati Pratap Singh made a provision of water. So the Chhatrapati Pratap Singh was a good ruler. So he made many things for the welfare of the his society, welfare of the common people. The Chhatrapati Pratap Singh made provision of water to the city by building the water tank on the backside of the Yauteshwar temple and Mahadara in Satara. Roads were built in the city, trees were planted on the both sides of the road, schools were built for boys and girls for teaching Sanskrit, Marathi, English. Printing press was set up and many useful books are published. In 1827, the Sabhaniti, a book of polity, was printed. He built a road from Satara to Mahabaleshwar to Pratapgarh, and same road further extended to Mahad. Chhatrapati Pratap Singh used to write the personal daily diary. So these are the qualities that the last ruler Chhatrapati was gained. He was polite and a good personality. Dual government. Robert Clive, he is a very smart viceroy. Robert Clive in 1765 introduced a dual government system in Bengal. A company undertook the work of revenue collections, whereas the Nawab of Bengal had maintained law and order. This was known as a dual government system. The ill effect of the dual government system could be seen after certain period. The money in the form of taxes went into the pocket of company officers, and the monopoly of trade in India was given to the East India Company, and hence many trading companies in England envied them. The working system of the company in India received a criticism in England, and the British Parliament introduced some important law to keep control over the country. So, firstly, the East India Company gained full control all over India, and they established the dual government system through which they enjoy uh, many taxes from the Indian ruler, or the taxes go into the pockets of the East India Company, avoiding the Indian ruler. So the British East India Company become a very rich in the British Empire. So the other companies who established in these empires get envied. Okay, they started arguing with the British ruler. So in parliament, they introduce a law to control this company. Parliamentary laws, according to the regulating act of 1773, the Bengal governor came to be known as a governor general. According to this act, Lord Warren Hastings became the governor general of India. He got the right to control the policies of Mumbai and Madras provinces. So they are established the governor general by the British ruler. They established the Lord Warren Hastings as a governor general of India. He got the right to control the policies of Mumbai and Madras province. A committee of the 4 members was set up to assist him. In 1784, Pitt's India Act was passed. The act provided of the appointment of the permanent board of control for the better regulation and management of the affair of East India Company in India. And in 1813, 1833, 1853, new laws were passed by the Parliament to make a certain changes in the working of a company. In this way, there involved the indirect control of the British government on the administrations of the East India Company. So, the uncontrolled control of East India Company was regulated by the Britishers with making some laws. The first law is the Pitt's India Act in 1784, and second there was 1813, 1833 and 1853. The new laws were introduced in India and passed by the Parliament of Britishers. With the emergence of the British rule, new administrative systems got developed in India. Civil services, military police force and judicial system became the main pillar of the British administrations in India. So, through the civil services, military, police force and judicial system, Britishers rule India. Okay, civil services. To strengthen the British rule in India, there was a need of bureaucrats. Lord Cornwallis introduced a bureaucracy. Civil services became an important part of the British government. He restricted the private trade carried out by the company officers, and for this purpose, he increases their salary. For the convenience of the administration, he divided British occupied territory into districts. So the district collector was the chief of the district administration. He was responsible for the collection of revenue. So the nowadays setup of the Tahsildar and Jilla Adhikari, circle officer, Talati, these are the whole setup which is introduced by the Britishers to rule Indian people, and still it has exist in India. So still the common people are harassed by these officers. Okay, but there are some officers in a good having a good character. They uses this position for the well-being of the common people, but largely the major major officers on these posts are totally harassed and corrupted. They looted Indian people. So students, you have to go on that position. You have to go on that position. After giving the UPSC MPSC exam, you can attain this position, and you have to use this position for the well-being of the common people. Okay, there are example of some great officers who attain this position. They done good works for the well-being of the common people. So we must keep an aim to do welfare of the common people. Okay, but in British rule, these positions are used to uh, rule over the common people, to looting Indian people. Okay, so this system is introduced by the Britishers for their well-being, not the common people of the India. Okay, so take out from your mind that the British rule was a good rule. They looted. Still, you can identify that the major part of the land was captured by the British Church and British. They looted these Adivasis and give the land of these Adivasis to their church. Okay, this church having the major land acquired by this church in Mumbai, city like Mumbai. Okay, so they looted Indians, they didn't make any good decision toward the Indian people. They introduced post system, they introduced railway system, they introduced the military system, they introduced these positions of the Indian civil services, but these all things are only for the well-being of the British Empire, not the common people of India. So student, take out from your mind that the Britishers are good than these rules which are nowadays. Okay. Next is the military and police force. They also introduce the military for the safeguard, because they have afraid from these Afghani people, Afghani attackers and Chinese attackers. So for that purpose they introduced the military and police force. The police force to suppress the Indian people, and the military force to safeguard their empire into India from the Afghanis and the other Central Asian militia. Okay, so students, we will stop now here, and after in the next lecture we will start with the judicial system, which is introduced by these imperialistic Britishers, and still it prevailed in India to looted the common people. Okay, the system of the judicial system, like this judge, there is a judge and two barristers are fighting each other, but they looted their common people who go to this judiciary system. Once he go into the judiciary for the purpose, for his own purpose, but he become a bankrupt. Okay, because year and year his case is prevailed. There is a picture, Damini. Okay, and there is a dialogue of this Sunny Deol, that Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq. So this system only giving to common people not a justice, but Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq and Tariq pe Tariq. Okay, we will study this point and further go further in this through this lesson into the next lecture. Okay.